What's up, guys? It's Six Man Sports. Today we have a very special guest, March Madness run with St. Peter's. Now is coaching back at his alma mater high school. We have Doug Edert from St. Peter's, Bryant, and now coaching at Bergen Catholic High School. Is it Bergen?
Yep,
Yeah,
Bergen
yeah, yeah.
Catholic.
So,
Yes, sir.
how are you doing today, man?
Awesome, awesome. I'm glad to be on the show.
Appreciate it. Yeah, yeah, yeah. So obviously what a lot of people will know you for is the run with St. Peter's and kind of beating Kentucky, Murray State, Purdue. But I kind of wanted to take it back a little bit, like when you really got started with basketball or even sports. I saw you played some baseball growing up. So like kind of how'd you get into sports?
Yeah, so really, I got into sports at a very young age, and a lot
Uh-huh.
of it, and really the competitiveness came from having two brothers. One is 2 years older than me, one is 2 years younger than me, so I'm right in the
Yeah.
middle. And obviously, if you have relatives growing up, everything's competitive. You're always
Oh, for
wrestling,
sure,
trying to
for
do
sure.
something better. So I think that kind of sparked it. And then I got into baseball first, just because my dad was a baseball player.
Yeah.
And kind of I was probably better at baseball growing up than I was at basketball. And then
Okay.
around fourth grade, I jumped into basketball to give it a try, and I loved it. It was awesome. The main difference, along with me playing some other sports, but nothing too serious. Baseball and basketball are really my two main ones. And then the difference was basketball was so much more like up tempo, faster than baseball, and I think
Hmm.
that's kind of what attracted me a little bit more.
Hmm.
So growing up, I had a hoop right outside of my house,
Yeah.
hanging over into the street, and I was out there all the time. I would
What
like get home from school and just shoot, 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 just play. Whether I was playing with my brothers or I had my friends come over, my dad was rebounding, whatever it was, I was just always out there just shooting and playing basketball until I had to go in and eat dinner, and then bang, I was right back outside until it got too dark where I couldn't even see the rim anymore.
Oh man, I think that's something lot of people will be able to relate to. Just curious, what position you play in baseball?
In baseball, I was mainly a pitcher.
Okay.
I was mainly a pitcher. Yep. I didn't throw the fastest. I didn't throw super fast, but I did have a lot of stuff. I had a lot
Off
of
speed type of guy?
off speed,
Yes, sir.
knuckleballs, knuckle curves, all of
Uh-huh.
that. And then outside of that, I played shortstop, and then yeah, yep.
And so when did you kind of I played a little bit of both growing. There's probably similarly my main two. When did you kind of like do both for a bit? I mean, like I know you can do that like elementary, middle. When did you kind of make that like full switch?
Yeah, that's a great question. I would say that I played both all the way up until I reclassed in eighth grade. So I did
Okay.
eighth
Yeah,
grade
yeah, yeah.
twice. And then I wanted to, before I went into high school, or as I'm going to high school, I wanted to decide to just pick one, to put all
Mhm.
my
Yeah, yeah.
focus, all my energy into one sport. I did not want to kind of try basketball, try baseball, see which one. Like by high school, I felt like I just need to go all in with one of them.
And then okay. And talk to me about reclassing, kind of like what was the reasoning behind that? And then yeah, essentially why'd you do it and
Yeah,
how'd it work
yeah.
out?
So I went into eighth grade, and then me and my best friend, who was a baseball basketball guy.
Uh-huh.
He was mainly baseball though. So we did play both together, but growing up he was better at baseball, I was better at basketball. But we decided to either go to Nutley High School, our town high school,
Mhm.
out of eighth grade, or we take the chance to reclass in eighth grade again, and that decision was very difficult to make. At this time, it wasn't as common to reclass in the eighth grade. Like now,
Yeah,
like it's
I see it
super
all the
well known.
time. Yeah,
Everybody
yeah.
does it at like all kinds of levels. But at this time, it wasn't like that. And so me and my boy, we decided like, man, we really want to try to take this like sports thing like really super serious and see how far we can go. Like if we are, then reclassing is definitely the right move. But when you do that, it's like all your friends that you grow up with are now going to high school, and it's like they're having like so much fun, and it's like you have to like kind of like leave your friends behind and watch them kind of go on at the high school and do all whatever they were doing. So once we decided to do that, um, that year was a tough year because of that. We were just it's another year to get mature, to grow into your body a little bit more, develop your skills a little bit more before going into high school where it's a lot more competitive. So we ended up doing that, and I think it was a very, very beneficial move in terms of obviously maturing and then with the sports too.
Okay, cool, cool, cool. And so after you reclassed, you guys were I mean, both of you kind of focused on Bergen instead of Nutley, and that was kind of the point of reclassing.
Yeah, so that was for me. So we had a bunch of options. It wasn't known that I was going to Bergen. Obviously, we had to take this test in eighth grade
Hmm.
to get accepted into all these different schools, the Catholic schools, private schools. So me and my boy went on a bunch of different, like, I guess you call, like, they call them freshmen for a day, like visits basically to the school. And I ended up loving Bergen. The varsity coach Billy Armstrong coached my the AAU team that I played for in seventh and eighth grade, so we already had a connection there. And then my boy ended up going to Nutley High School,
Okay, yeah, yeah.
and he did really well there. Ended up going to play at St. John's
Oh,
for
sick.
baseball. So
Yeah, yeah,
yeah, he
yeah.
did a really good job. And then I obviously went to Bergen, so that was that.
So how was adjusting to Bergen? I mean, Nutley, based off what you're saying, seems more like the local public school, so definitely like the classes are huge. Kind of, what was like that school size at a Bergen, and kind of how was it? I imagine like whole new set of friends, right? Because you grew up with a bunch of guys. All of them are now going to Nutley, the hometown local public high school. So how was that difference?
Yeah, yeah, no, that was a hard decision. So just like the decision I had to make to go back to eighth grade instead of go to high school, I had to make another tough decision where it's like, do I go to Nutley with all my boys that are still there,
Mhm.
or do I go to Bergen and try to take a shot at the sports thing? And then going to Bergen, obviously I'm leaving my Nutley guys behind, and then what, like I said, I played AAU for Hoop Dreams under Coach Billy Armstrong. I've developed some relationships there. So
Yeah.
that almost the whole team that I played with in AAU ended up going to Bergen, and we were all in the same grade.
Oh,
So
that's
I
sick.
did
So,
have I
so
did have some friends there. Yeah.
going in, you at least knew kind of some of the guys on the team. Okay,
Yep.
okay, that's
Yeah,
sick.
absolutely. Yeah. So that was a good thing. That was better than me just going in solo, like not knowing anybody.
Yeah.
So yeah.
And you in how to work there, was it like JV? I think I saw you played varsity all 4 years. How'd that work? Was it like tryouts? How'd those go?
Yeah, so you obviously had the tryouts and stuff, and as a freshman, I made the JV team. I
Okay.
wasn't on varsity. I played JV for basically the whole year, and then towards the end of my JV season, I got brought up to
You got
varsity.
called up.
So I was
Okay.
still doing both. I was still playing JV
Okay.
games, and then obviously in some of the varsity games. At that time, I was playing like garbage minutes at the very end. I'm
Hmm.
still trying to prove myself, having that chip on my shoulder, trying to prove myself even as a freshman. And then by our last game of the season, at the varsity level, I was the first guy off the bench, the sixth man. So,
Wait,
um,
so how many games did you have at that point at varsity to kind of jump from like garbage time to six man?
yeah, I don't
I
know
don't
the exact
imagine.
number.
Okay,
It
yeah.
was a decent amount. I would probably say it was about seven-ish, 7 games.
That's not a lot, man. To make
Yeah,
that
no,
to make that jump.
yeah,
Must
no.
have been must have been both like some of the games and practice. I mean, you obviously worked with coach before, so but no, that's huge to make that jump. And then so after kind of freshman year going into sophomore year, goal was to come back a starter. Or do you think you kind of stay a six man? What were you thinking kind of going to sophomore year high school?
Yeah, so going to my sophomore year, I definitely wanted to start like everybody
Mm,
does.
yeah, yeah.
Younger the better. That's just kind of what it was, and I was like super locked in. I wanted to start, and then in the beginning of the season, I was coming off the bench, as that six-man role,
Yeah,
and then in the middle of the season, I became a starter. So I was kind of on and off with starting and coming off the bench, and it was all depending on different lineups, what lineups are working, and stuff like that. Which is a little bit challenging for me, honestly, just because it was like such like a goal of mine to like start as a sophomore,
yeah,
and it it was kind of unnecessary on my part, where it's like I shouldn't have been like thinking that way, and just whatever role I have, like just do it to the best of my ability. So I did let it get to me mentally, whether it's like am I starting or coming off the bench or start like going back and forth. That's something that's like out of my control, and
yeah.
I kind of have the same issue with some of my guys now that I coach, and it's like I've been there. Like it's not, if you can't control it, there's no point of worrying about it.
Hmm.
Like if
Yeah,
you don't know if you're gonna start play the whole game, come off the bench, play a lot, come off the bench, play 1 minute, not come off the bench at all, just stay on the bench. Like you have no idea, and that's all coach's decision. So
Yeah.
worrying about that is the wrong way to go about it.
And so you're kind of like a little bit six man, a little bit off the bench, but also starting for a good amount of sophomore year. At this point, at what point did you kind of realize like basketball could be, I mean, I'm sure you thought about it, but did you kind of realize for sure like I could do this basketball thing just past high school and this could be like something college, something like pro career? Like when did those thoughts kind of start coming to you? Maybe even if it was before sophomore year.
Yeah, that I think that really came around like seventh grade, where I'm like, I want to
Oh
be a
wow, okay,
Division
yeah,
One
yeah, yeah.
basketball player. Like
Yeah,
that's when
okay.
I want to be a Division One basketball player, um, or baseball player at that time. But when I really
Yeah.
got to high school, then I was like, okay, Division One basketball. Like,
Yeah.
that's my goal right there. So I guess going into after my sophomore year, I had a pretty decent sophomore year. Not the best, but a decent one. And then going into my junior year, that's when I started getting some interest. So I started seeing some like letters in the mail, coaches reaching out, like just show small interest and stuff. And that kind of I was like, okay, like, I'm on the right track. I'm doing something right. But I'm like, I think there should be more. Like I think I'm playing really well in all these like AU tournaments and stuff.
Mhm.
And I'm like, I feel like I deserve a little bit more. So, and I like to create these like, whether they're real or not, I like to create some kind of like circumstance or like some enemy, and it's like I have something to
For
prove.
motivation. Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
just for that extra motivation. And that's just the way my mind works.
Uh,
And so by doing that, it's like, okay, like I'm gonna prove everybody that I can play at this level. Like
yeah.
starting from like going to my sophomore year, junior, like I'm gonna start showing people um that that's my goal and that's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna get there eventually. And the people that kind of pass up on me and miss the opportunity, like it's gonna hurt them.
It's personal. Yeah, exactly.
Yep.
And so you said junior year you started getting interest. How'd that process work? I know you said letters in the mail. Did you get like did you kind of post some tape on like uh Huddle, like Twitter, like how'd that process work? Did some people kind of get in touch with coach?
Yeah, yeah. So that's another great question. Usually at that time it was some like letters, but the letters didn't really mean that much. It was more of like the coaches going to watch you play. That was like a big
Okay.
one. When the head coach is at your game for you, like like
Oh
you're on their
wow, okay. Yeah,
radar.
yeah,
Assistant coaches are showing up to a bunch of different games, whether they're at these camps or AAU tournaments. That's like a sign right there, and just the communication and stuff. But I did have this one guy. He kind of like reached out to a lot of coaches because there was like I guess there's some rules during dead periods and all this stuff where it's like coaches can't contact the players directly and all this stuff.
yeah.
So like my one of my dad's friends kind of he was close with a couple of these coaches at the college level, like assistants and stuff, and just reached out, hey, give this kid a look. Like these
Yeah.
are some of his highlights. Like go give this kid a look. If it doesn't work out, like no issues at all. So somebody was out there helping me a little bit. I guess pushing to kind of just give me a look, like just an opportunity just to see if it might be a potential fit or whatever. So I think that helped me out a lot. And then yeah, like I said, just going to these tournaments and stuff and coaches just watching you and it's like they all got their hats on so you know what school it is. Um they ask for phone numbers and stuff and then they start to build that relationship coach to their recruiting player.
Yeah. How the St. Peter's offer specifically, how'd that process go?
Yeah, that was great. So I ended up having four offers.
Yeah.
I had it, and this was going into my senior year. So my junior year summer, I had Fairleigh Dickinson, Wagner, University of New Hampshire, and St. Peter's.
Hmm.
I got the St. Peter's offer. It was kind of funny. I was playing against the Patrick School, and at this summer event or whatever, and it was in at Montclair State University.
Okay.
And it was like early in the morning, like early morning game. It was Bergen Catholic versus the Patrick School. And my matchup, a couple of our guys were injured. A couple of our main guys were injured. And I knew the Patrick School was a very, very good basketball team.
Yeah.
So I knew I had to bring it. I knew like college coaches were going to be there. So like now it's just extra motivation. Like I said, I'm like, I want more. So,
Uh-huh.
um, and the way I did it was, what's it called? There's a kid on the other team, Alamir Dawes. who's like a
Okay.
very good basketball player. He ended up playing at Clemson, I think, and then he
Oh
went to
wow.
Seton
Okay.
Hall.
Yeah.
Well, one of the better players that I played against or matched up against.
Hmm.
And I was really just face guarding the whole game. I wasn't he was talking trash, I was talking trash. I didn't care.
Yeah.
I'm just out there kind of like being myself, get into their best player's head or trying to. And then obviously Coach Shaw and his staff was there. I didn't know that at the time,
Uh-huh.
but supposedly that caught their interest of like, who's this kid that's like not backing down, talking trash. I ended up having like 30 something
Okay.
points,
Damn. Yeah.
and
Yeah. Yeah.
we ended up losing, I think by like 8 or 10.
Okay.
Um, but yeah, no, that was one of those games where it's like I guess I put on a show in terms of just like what I bring to the table. And it's not like I was doing anything out of character. I was talking trash to everybody. I didn't care what. I didn't care if we're at the park where nobody's watching, everybody's watching. I'm gonna talk trash regardless.
Yeah.
Um, and then I'm just gonna play super hard all the time. So I think that kind of caught their interest, and that's when they kind of opened up that line of communication right there.
Sick. Yeah. So, I read somewhere that summer going into senior year, had you committed at that point or
Yeah, so I said I think in the fall. In the
okay.
fall, that's when my goal, again, another goal I had was to commit before playing my senior year
Yeah.
because I wanted to play my senior year already knowing where I was going to college
Yeah. Not having
and
to
freely, not even
worry
worried
about
about it.
exactly. Okay.
So I ended up committing in the fall, going into my senior year to St. Peter's Division I basketball. I was like super satisfied and super happy with my decision at the time. And then it kind of allowed me to just play my senior. Not that I didn't care, but like so much more loose. Like I was just having
Yeah.
fun with my guys. Like so after that, I think senior year is one of my better years of basketball, like in my life
Mhm.
because of how like loose I was playing, just because I didn't have any kind of extra pressures or stress about, oh, where am I going to go to school next year?
And
So
you
I
kind of
think that,
already have at that point like the next chapter sealed and you're just kind of hooping, right?
yeah,
Exactly. So,
just out there hooping. It's
uh-huh.
awesome.
Yeah. And so did any of the other guys on the Bergen Catholic team end up going playing D1 or kind of even following you to St. Peter's and how was it like seeing some of them succeed as well?
Yeah, no, one of the main ones was Zach Freemantle.
Okay.
He was a center for us, and he ended up going to Xavier. He had
Wow,
like
yeah.
tons of offers, and he was
Yeah.
really the first one out of all of us in that class that was getting some like good looks, Division I looks and stuff. And he dominated at Xavier. I think he's in the G League right now, so
That's
he's doing
sick.
really
Yeah, yeah,
well.
yeah.
Yep. And then we had Will Richardson coming off the bench. He's the all-time leading scorer at Bergen Catholic, and he was coming out the bench as a freshman, and he ended up going to play at Fordham.
Yeah.
And then
Nice.
trying to think of Matt Zona. Matt Zona was our other center at the time. I was just when I was a senior, he was a junior, so he's always 1 year below us.
Yeah.
And he ended up going to Notre Dame, and then he
Okay,
transferred to
nice.
Fordham.
Yeah, yeah,
Yep.
yeah. That
And
these
I'm trying to.
it's a good great products for D1. It's like what four I think you said in like 3 years. It looks
Yeah,
great
yeah, yeah.
and
We had a bunch of them, and then obviously we had guys going to play Division II, Division III
exactly.
as
Yeah, yeah,
well.
yeah.
So it's like,
And probably even transfer up to D1 later on. Yeah.
yep,
So
yep.
um sick man. So I mean, this is not fully like timeline specific, but growing up living in Jersey, were you like a Knicks or Nets fan? And then outside of that, who were kind of some of your favorite basketball players you modeled your game after, or even like specifically tuned into, or something like that?
Yeah, I was always a Knicks fan.
Okay.
My
I
dad's from New York, so I followed the New York Knicks.
feel
Um,
like most people in the area are.
yeah, yeah, exactly. Yep. Yep. So I was a big time Knicks fan. And then modeling my game when I was younger, I was kind of going for more of the Michael Jordan and Kobe Bryant, even though it
Yeah.
sounds crazy because I'm like my build and my play style is nothing like that.
Uh-huh.
Like they're super athletic. I'm not that athletic. So it's like people would question that when I give them that answer, but a lot of it was just their mindset. I
Yeah.
like
No,
kind of
the
like I
mindset
got
stuff is
yeah,
special. It's insane. Yeah.
learn that killer instinct or
Uh-huh.
mom mentality, whatever you want to call it. That's kind of where I modeled my game after when I was younger. And then obviously growing up more and more, you start to see JJ Redick, Klay Thompson, Steph Curry, their off-ball movement
Yeah.
and their catch and shoot and being just super efficient. I think that's kind of where where I model my play style after. I was able to relate to those guys a little bit more than the Michael Jordans and Kobe Bryants in terms of like play style. So
Yeah.
I was trying to get the mindset from those guys, the killers, and then I kind of combined it with the IQ part or the off ball movement and catch and shoot from JJ Redick, Klay Thompson, Steph Curry. Yep.
And no, th those guys are great. I mean, Steph is in his own tier, his own level, but even like JJ, like a Kyle Korver,
Yep.
Clay, obviously, like these guys, they can change the game just by being like an off-ball pass. They don't even need the ball in his hands. I'm sure, obviously, you've seen like the Clay 11 dribbles, what,
Yep. Yep.
60, right? And like JJ,
Quick.
like he'll just come off screen after screen. He'll just keep cutting, going to the corner. Like it's just guard. So
Yeah.
no, those guys, are great. I was a big JJ fan actually growing up, and him getting into podcasting and doing podcasting was actually one of the reasons why I got into this stuff,
Oh,
the
it's
sports
awesome. There
YouTube
you
stuff.
go.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. So
Yeah. He does a
I was,
great job with it. So
yeah,
I'm
yeah.
glad
And
that you're
then
able to watch that and kind of get inspired by that.
I
Hell yeah.
loved his interviews, and I think even the stuff he did with sports media, it was never like the headline baiting. It was never like the no disrespect to the people who do that type of stuff. It was never like the same debates every day. It was more like, okay, let's just talk ball. Like I want to ask you like a really cool question about how do you do your shooting workout or things like that. So I like JJ
Yeah.
for that. He had a lot of cool guests on, and I mean, he's now the head coach of the Lakers, so
Yep.
it worked out for him after his career.
Absolutely.
And so going into your freshman year of college, what were you kind of thinking? Like, okay, you've obviously now you're playing under Coach Holloway. What were you kind of your goals for your college career, or even just your freshman year?
Yeah, freshman year, obviously I wanted to see the court and I wanted to play a lot. That was kind of
Yeah.
my main goal was just to be out there. Just to get a feel of like how the college game is. They moved the 3-point line back a little bit from high school, so it's like a lot of different stuff. But going to that summer, it was definitely a culture shock. Like there's a learning curve, and I was told by like previous coaches and I guess you call them mentors, whatever,
Yeah.
that there's a learning curve going to play from high school to college because of the speed of the game
Hmm.
and the difference in athleticism and strength, all these different things. And so in the summer session, when I got there, I struggled bad. I
Uh-huh.
was struggling just because it was a different game. So
I
guys are so much
mean,
stronger,
I
quicker.
I can imagine. I mean, you're probably what like 19 and you're probably facing off against guys who are what 21, 22, 23, right? So
Yep. Yep. Exactly.
it's
Exactly.
different.
So
And these
like,
guys have already some of the seniors on the team have are getting starter minutes for like 2, 3 years. So
yeah. Yep.
it's
So they've
yeah,
adjusted.
different
They've been
level.
in
Yeah.
the college weight program, so they're all like jacked out of their minds, and there's me just like out there. And it's funny. I always kind of bring this story up when I'm asked about this because I like during the summer I like called my dad and I'm like, yo, I don't know if I could do this. I can't even get my shot off. Like I'm
Yeah,
thinking I'm
wow.
wide
Okay.
open behind the 3-point line, and I'm shooting, I'm catching and shooting, and it's getting blocked every time or tipped. And it's like I can't. I'm like struggling. I'm getting cooked in the one-on-ones. Like there's no chance of that. And so it was a little bit difficult to start, but I kind of just trusted the process. And I always had that chip on my shoulder. So I said I could play here. I worked my way up to get this offer and this opportunity. So I'm gonna make the best of it. I stayed in the weight room, which was super important to me, just to get my body right. Obviously, I had to get a little quicker, a lot stronger.
Yeah.
That was a huge part for me. And then obviously just adjusting to the speed of the game. And then by that time, I started off the season playing really good basketball, honestly. Playing really good
Yeah.
basketball.
You ended up what leading the team in threes,
Yep.
second in the MAC for 3-point percentage, made the all rookie team. It's a great rookie season. It sounds like a
Yeah.
great freshman season to me. And that was the year that it got like, well, I mean, college basketball season is mostly done at this point, but season got cut short to COVID, right?
Yes, sir. Yep.
And
So
so
that
was that the MAC tournament, right? When it got cut?
yeah. So the way that it was looking, we caught fire as a team. And we once we caught fire, we went into the MAC tournament feeling good. We upset Iona. on a
Yeah.
buzzer beater, and
Wow. Okay.
we were red hot, like ready to go. I think we had two more games maybe, and
Who were
just
you
the way.
guys slated to play?
I think the next game was going to be Ryder
Yeah.
and then maybe Siena
Okay.
or
Yeah.
Monmouth
Yeah.
the way it was lined up. But I can't remember exactly. But just you just get that feeling like we're playing great basketball as a team right now, and things are flowing, and just the way that the matchups look in the future, it's like looking really good for us to kind of win that tournament, win that
I
MAC tournament,
mean,
go to the tournament
rattle off two more wins. You guys are going dancing, right?
right there, yes sir.
Yeah. Yeah.
So
Yeah.
that and then
Oh,
right from there, it's like
that
we
must have
get
been
that
soul
call.
crushing. Yeah.
Oh my yeah. Oh, we got that call and we're like, and just the way we all knew it too. Nobody's really talking about it as much, but we knew we were hooping at the time. And then
Was this after like MLB, NBA, a bunch of other sports leagues because had cut it short
yep.
for that year?
Yeah, so the NBA and MLB were getting cut short, and then some college teams were like at halftime they were ending the games, and we're like sitting in
Yeah.
the hotel like, yo, like what is going on? And then conferences are shutting down their tournaments. The MAC, the conference that I was in,
Yeah.
we were the last college basketball like conference to kind of close it down.
That would have,
And
oh, it sucks, man. That would have been a
so,
great year. A lot of people I know, I mean, to be honest, I wasn't the biggest college basketball fan at the time, but a lot of people, when I kind of read about it now, talk about like Dayton, for example. That was one of the best like teams where you could have seen Obi Toppin go on a run. Like it
yep,
would have been a fun year, great tournament. So
great year. Yep.
do you just when that call happens, do you kind of just head home, quarantine like everybody else? Like how was that for you? How do you stay in shape, still kind of that damn my freshman season just randomly ended 2 games before we had a chance to go to the tournament, but now you kind of got to flip the switch, be like, okay, now it's off season mode, get ready for sophomore year. Like, I mean, it definitely was different, obviously, for all of us, but how was that for you being a D1 basketball player?
Yeah, no, it was definitely tough getting that call because again, we worked so hard to come that far. And
Yeah,
then just for us to not even get an opportunity to kind of go win it just gets taken. That's why it's like you got to be like thankful and grateful for all the opportunities that you get because you
yeah,
just never know when it's going to end. And then yeah, so that gets cut short. Then we go back into the offseason, like you said. Obviously, at the end of the season, win or lose, you're going to take some time off. So I definitely took some time off, especially when the whole world just stops. I mean, I'm inside. I'm on the game. We're doing it.
yes.
I'm just hanging out.
What were you playing with the boys?
Oh, Warzone.
Yeah,
COVID
yeah, yeah.
Warzone was top tier. That was
Uh-huh.
peak right there. Yeah, but anyways, just playing the game, just hanging out. Obviously, my family members, you can't
Yeah.
really go out and see your friends as much because again, the world just shut down. So, I was still outside hooping at my on the same hoop that I was hooping on when I was younger, just get my shots up and stuff.
Yeah,
But
I
yeah, it
remember
was a crazy time.
there's like this outdoor court. It's probably like a 2 minute drive from my house that we'd usually go to. It's always packed, always kids hooping, games to kind of get into. I went there probably sometime that summer. Saw one of my friends there. We were like the only two people, and it was so quiet. It just felt so weird.
So weird, so weird. But you got to figure out a way. Staying inside for that long, it's not good. Like it's
It's
not good
not,
for you. Got to get outside and do something.
yeah.
So obviously, like, I went on some runs, having the mask up and stuff. Just staying active, staying active.
Yeah.
Yep.
So, did they going back that next year of school was I know COVID ended up like affecting the season. You guys had like a month at some point. There was a month break in between games due to some like outbreaks, right? Like it was still a weird season. I know you also dealt with some injury stuff and your production dropped a little. So
Yep.
how was that whole season? Like it wasn't ideal for you, but that
Yeah.
must have just been a different experience.
Not ideal. It was probably one of my worst seasons.
Uh-huh.
Um, Yeah, no, I would say that a lot changed. It was COVID, so
Yeah.
you're wearing masks during practices, which is something that you got to get used to. And
Uh-huh.
every school was doing it. But I mean, I really didn't have complaints because at least we were playing. I'd
Yeah.
rather put a mask on than not play at all.
Yeah, it's fair.
So, and then our gym was getting redone.
Uh-huh.
So our gym was out of commission for the entire season. So we practiced at a high school in Jersey City, 15 minutes away.
I
So
saw
we had
that,
to go on
yeah.
a van every day.
Marist High or something, right?
Yeah,
Yeah. Marist
Marist High
High,
School.
yeah,
Yep.
yeah.
I don't think it's still there. I
Oh,
think they kind of
wow.
took it down, but we had to go practice there. Dim lights, slippery floor, just like thugging it out every day. Um, and
You
then
guys
we
also play your games there, or what happened?
no,
Okay.
our games are at NJCU, right down the block again,
Okay.
Division
Yeah. It's
three
a
school.
D2, D3?
Yeah, I think it's D3.
Okay. Yeah.
But
Yeah.
yes, we played our home games there, so they're really away games. But yeah, I struggled with a couple injuries involving my toe and my ankle. And not that that's an excuse at all. Like there's no
Yeah.
excuse even the slightest because everyone goes through injuries and stuff like that. But it was definitely a little bit challenging for me because that was one of those injuries where it's like how bad can like a toe injury be? Like it
Uh-huh.
sounds like kind of soft. It got to
What type of was it like toe turf or what type of injury was it?
yeah.
I think I said that. I saw
People were
that.
saying turf toe.
Or
It
turf toe,
wasn't.
not turf. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
It wasn't
Okay.
turf toe. I mean, I'm all for it, whatever they want to call it. It wasn't turf toe. It was something to do with my sesamoid bone. It's like
Okay.
the bone like right under your big toe.
Okay.
And like I got like a burning sensation every time like I had like my basketball shoes on every time I started like to put some force into it, like running and
Yeah.
jumping. Um, it this is gonna sound crazy, but it got to the point where before practice, as part of my warm up, I was like stomping my foot on the ground just to kind of like numb it up a little bit.
Oh man. Okay. Okay.
Um, so
And
what
just to
wasn't
just
fun. Wasn't a fun year at all for that. But again, I'll do anything to get on that court and stay there. It kind of led to some ankle injuries, like rolling my ankle because I'm like avoiding putting pressure on that part of my foot. Whatever.
yeah.
All these different things
Did that
going
mess
on.
with your shooting a bit? Because I know obviously like footwork, obviously coming off screens, like
Yep.
pointing your feet, like it probably wasn't like 100%. So that can also
Yeah,
affect your shot, I'm sure.
I try to, one of the main things for shooting, in my opinion, one of the main key factors is kind of distributing 50% of your weight on your left foot, 50% on your right foot.
Uh-huh.
And I just feel like I wasn't doing that. A lot more was going
Yeah.
on my left foot because I was avoiding that feeling on my right foot.
Uh-huh.
Um, so that kind of that was annoying, but I had to adjust regardless of whatever was going on. And then yeah, no, I try to thug it out, just keep playing on it. And then thank goodness it healed over time, but yeah, it's
Yeah.
definitely not ideal.
I know you talked about this for high school. You were, but this kind of happened also in college from some game logs I saw. You'd start like a good percent of the games, but then a lot of games you'd kind of come off as that first or second guy off, spark plug, six man type of guy,
Yep.
instant offense. How'd you kind of get used to that role and then learn to kind of play into it towards the end?
Yeah, so again, it didn't mess me up as much as it did in high school because again, like I like learned from my past
Yeah,
experience that again it's coach's decision
yeah,
whether I'm starting or coming off the bench. Whenever my number is called, I got to go out and perform. And so w once I got that through my mind, it was nothing that I was unfamiliar with because again, I already dealt with it.
yeah,
So I was just kind of locked into whatever I can do to help my team win. I'm going to go out there and do it, whether that's to play the entire game, not to play at all, come off the bench, start anything. So that's just that was my mindset at the time was I'm going to go out there. If my number gets called, I'm going to go out there and try to play as hard as I possibly can and make all the right plays to help put my team in a position to win.
yeah. Makes sense. All right, now let's go into your junior season because what most people actually don't know is you guys started the season 3-6, not something that's ideal for a year. You want to make a March Madness run. So how was that and how'd you guys find your footing?
Yeah, so going to junior year, we were feeling good
Yeah.
just because of our lineups and our core group was together since we were freshmen. And I think
Like
that's like a
you,
huge.
Daryl, the Dar twins, Casey.
Yep.
Yeah,
Yep.
yeah.
Yep. Us and then Matt Lee was in there.
Uh-huh.
Casey was 1 year older than us.
Okay.
He was in the grade above us, but we kind of considered him in our class, whatever. So we had a lot of time to develop a lot of chemistry between each other. We had a lot of ups and downs together,
Yeah.
handled adversity, had some good moments together. And I think that plays a major role in just our connectivity and really our success because of how connected we were
Yeah.
and we kind of knew what to expect from each other and like where the standard is. So that's like really, and you don't really see that often because now the
Transfer
transfer
portal,
portal
guys
it's so
are in and
hard.
out. It's not like
Yep,
a group that stays.
team
Exactly.
first thing, yeah,
Yeah, yeah,
exactly.
yeah.
So it's really special when you find that. And then so back to going 3-6, yeah, we got off to a rough start. and
Uh,
I'm not really sure why. We did play a couple high major teams or whatever, um, that kind of got after us. But
yeah,
it's good. It's good for that. Like we wanted to see that kind of competition early,
yeah.
get exposed to the level that we need to kind of prepare for later on. So I think we got better from that, and then we had a couple tough ones, like a couple bad losses. Like for example, it was like a Friday game, and we're playing against St. Francis in Brooklyn, and at this point, I think they were like 0-9 or something.
Oh,
And
okay.
the night before, me and my teammates were like, "Oh, like there's no way we're losing this team. Like
Yeah,
win, go to the weekend off on a win, whatever."
yeah.
We ended up losing. We lost like
Damn.
single digits, but
Yeah,
and it was at home too.
yeah.
So that made it even worse. And that was after that game, we had a lot of issues internally, and even a couple of us ended up getting COVID.
Oh,
So we had to
wow.
go quarantine at home. We got sent home.
Rough. Yeah, yeah,
So
yeah.
we missed out on a couple games there. We got sent home.
Yeah.
I was
Was
part
it
of
was it
that.
like the NBA I know had this like 10-day protocol? Was it similar?
Yep, very similar to that 10-day
Okay.
protocol where we all got sent home and we had to quarantine at our houses and then come back 10 days
Yikes.
later.
Yeah,
And to
yeah.
be honest, I think that was a blessing really, just
Uh-huh.
because our team was so out of it and we had a lot of issues and stuff. And just by something like that happening, giving us a break, being able to go home,
Reset
reset,
low. Yeah.
and then towards that, like those last couple of days at home, it's like, wow, I want to get back on the court. Like I can't wait to get back, ready
Yeah.
to go,
Yeah, yeah.
and
Fired up. Yep.
fired up. So I think once it got taken from us again, like we didn't really see how like important it was being out on the court. Like again, just like freshman year, it gets taken like that out of nowhere.
Yeah.
So we were really grateful to have the opportunity to come back and play on the same team with the same guys. And so we kind of made our run starting then. We come out and we play against Monmouth the next game at home.
Yeah.
And Monmouth at the time, I think was the two seed, or they were ranked two in the standings for the MAC, whatever. And we beat them up pretty good. I
Nice.
think from there, it's like we caught fire in our season, playing like really good basketball. So I think that break kind of helped us a
Yeah.
little.
And I know you talked about core group of guys, and then you also talked about kind of this bit of like a rough patch you went through. So kind of two questions in one here. What did you guys kind of do off the court, both during good runs, bad runs, as like a group of guys to bond just outside of basketball? And then how does like obviously as good of a coach he is, Coach Holloway, what does he do to kind of motivate you guys, keep you guys in there? Because he knows and you guys all know that you're a better team than that. So it's two things on that answer.
Yeah, yeah. So off the court stuff is super important,
Yeah.
and Coach Shaw, he had a lot of these like sayings that kind of stick with you,
Uh-huh.
and one of them had to do with your relationships off the court kind of affect how you play on the court with each other. So like if you don't really like each other that much off the court, like the on the court chemistry isn't going
It's
to be
not
that
going to be
good.
there. Yeah, yeah.
But if you're like boys off the court, playing on the court is like it's
It's
something
all
else.
fun. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Just hooping with the
So
boys.
we,
Yeah, yeah.
we had a bunch of we were all like pretty close, and then we all had our little groups that are like closer than
Yeah,
they are with the rest of the guys, and that's how every team is,
yeah.
any kind of team.
When you have
Um,
like even just like a big friend group of like what 10 to 20 people, there's always pockets
yeah,
of people you're
yeah,
closer with, pockets
exactly.
of other people who are closer. Yeah.
Little clicks.
Yeah, yeah,
So
little clicks. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
yeah, yep. So me, Daryl, and Matt, we were all roommates, so
Uh-huh.
we kind of developed that kind of bond right there. And honestly, we were just on the game. We played the game all the time,
Yeah.
like right there. Like my TV is right next to his TV, just playing the game.
That's what's
That was
up.
one
Yeah.
that was one way. And what it did was like we're resting, we're taking care of our bodies. It's not like we're going to do all these crazy things out off the court,
Yeah.
going all over the place. Like we're staying in our rooms for the most part. We're staying low, resting our bodies, but we're also having fun and bonding over it as well.
Yeah.
And then Coach Shaw, the way that he kind of handled that was turning up the intensity a little bit. Um,
Uh-huh.
he had a standard for us, and I think that we set the standard ourselves because of our potential and what we've done before,
Okay.
how good we could have been and we
Yeah.
should be. He was making us stay to that standard no matter what happened. Every day in practice was it was a battle. Like it was,
Uh-huh.
it was, he wanted us to get to perfection. Obviously, we weren't going to get there, but we were striving for perfection, and he didn't let anything slip. He called people out as soon as they did something wrong, no matter who it was. That's the
Yeah.
thing. It was Coach Shaw, and it was like everybody else was on an even playing field. There was no
Yeah.
like, oh, this guy's one of the better players on the team. He gets a little bit more leeway than. Nope. Everybody was
I think
equal.
that's that level of like keeping everyone accountable is healthy because it's like no one's no one's on a pedestal. No one's thinking they're above people. Like
Yeah.
if you I don't know, miss your assignment, let a backdoor cut, you let a backdoor, right? Like so yeah, I think that's great.
Yeah,
And
he did a
probably
great job at doing that too.
and for a team like you guys where even in the March Madness run where at least from what I saw on the roster, correct me if I'm wrong, it wasn't like there was always a guy, like every day could be a different guy, which I think for something like March Madness makes the team so much more deeper. Like a lot of these, sometimes I see this with some top recruits or just even certain teams where they have that one guy who's like a 25 point per game, 23, 25 point per game scorer. If they get him to 12, then you need other people to step up. But I see a lot of teams where like there's like 4 or 5 guys from like 9 to 13. It's like, okay,
Yep.
anyone can take over on a nightly basis, which it really works, I guess, with what you said, Coach Shaw said in practice is like, I'm coming for all of you. So it kept everyone accountable. And then another thing I saw was how he always told you from the get-go how you're the best three-point shooter in the nation. And I saw that. Another thing I stumbled across the other day just randomly was pre-Steve Kerr, Mark Jackson of the Warriors used to do this with Steph Curry and Clay way before they broke out. Like I think this is the year Clay got drafted. Steph was a high pick, but was still going through all the ankle stuff. Still hadn't
Yep.
fully proven itself. But Mark Jackson was like, nah, I know you guys are the best shooting backcourt, best shooters NBA history, things like that. So how was that for you? And obviously worked out for Steph and Clay and kind of changed their careers. But how was that type of motivation from Coach Shaw for you?
Yeah, so I think backing up real quick to the to our team being like super deep, we had a lot of depth. Like you said,
Yeah.
our scorebooks looked like 12, 11, 10,
Yeah.
10, 12, and it's just like everybody. We're playing at times we're playing 12 guys, and it's like you need that because it keeps everybody on their toes. You never know when your name's gonna be called. You're on a team that plays 5 guys, and they got that one guy that's scoring 30, and
Yeah.
everybody else is like 3, 2, 5. It's like
Yeah.
you kind of it's very easy to kind of get out of it, like kind of
And
just
pick your
veer off.
matchups to win the game. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. So I think that was one of our main things is trying to get everybody involved, and you just never know whose night it's going to be, like you said. And then going back to the next question with Coach Shaw's belief in me, um, no, it was special, and like I said, my freshman year I struggled, and he brought me there for a reason, and it was to shoot the basketball.
Uh-huh.
And he, from day one, he was telling me in front of everybody,
Yeah.
saying that I was the best shooter in the country.
Uh-huh. And
And like in my head,
you're up there percentage wise.
I was at one point I was actually leading the country in 3-point
Uh-huh.
percentage. For like it was like for a week or two on my freshman year, which is pretty
Yeah.
cool. But I ended up like having a decent percentage. I think I shot somewhere like 45% or
It's
44%.
not decent, man. That's up
Yeah,
there.
it's up there. So back to what he was saying, like from day one, and I'm like, I'm a very confident person. Like I'm
Yeah.
confident in myself just
Uh-huh.
because I work so hard. Like just from my hard work and my discipline,
Yeah.
it gives me the freedom to be a little confident. Um, and it's just like a mindset thing. Again, like watching Michael Jordan and Kobe Bryant with the confidence thing, the mindset that you need, especially as like a undersized guard. It's like you need that extra motivation, that extra toughness
Yeah.
and mentally. And for Coach Shot to kind of go out and say a statement like that and truly believe it, even I'm like looking around like he's talking about me. Like I haven't even played a college game yet. I'm the best shooter in the country. So I kind of just went along with it. Like if he believes in me that much, he would scream at me if I pass up an open shot in practice and saying like, I'm here to shoot the ball, like shoot it, you know? So like that kind of confidence from a coach giving a player, and not that anybody else should affect your mindset and your confidence. It should be
Yeah,
set.
agreed.
Like it's always nice to have that little bit of extra support, especially from someone that's your head coach, the guy who makes all the decisions. So that kind of stayed with me a little bit of like, wow, like he really does believe in me. Like I'm gonna no matter what, I'm gonna believe in myself. Try to get to that level of belief in myself to be able to shoot the basketball at a high clip.
Yeah. No, that's great. I think that the belief, honestly, for a lot of players that can even change their mentality and their success on the court.
Yep.
Um, that junior season, you guys started off slow, but end up going on a heater. Finished the season second in the conference or regular season conference standings.
Mhm.
At first place is Iona, who you guys lost to both regular season matchups. Is coached by obviously the legendary Rick Pitino.
Yep.
And then off their bench was a freshman, Walter Clayton, who we all know from last year was just hitting crazy shots, led Florida to the title. Now he got drafted in the first rounds on the Utah Jazz. So, I mean, you got to play him in some pretty big matchups as a freshman when he was a freshman. Just how was that experience, both going up against Coach Pitino and then even seeing some glimpses of who Walter could be down the line?
Yeah, so obviously playing against Patino is like super fun, being able to get that matchup.
Yeah,
And then obviously Walter Clayton is a great player. You could tell like, he was a freshman when we played him. Like he was still very
yeah.
good, don't get me wrong, but his role was different than when he was
Then when
at
he was not obviously the leader of the team. Yeah, yeah,
yeah, exactly. So he was just working hard, trying to get his minutes in when he can, guarding the basketball. He's a great defender,
yeah,
and he did a really really good job. And he was one thing you knew about it. He's like super humble, and he just played super hard. He played the right way, so
yeah,
you could tell like if you're really watching the games, you could tell that he had a bright future ahead of him.
yeah,
And then
for sure.
obviously playing against Rick Pitino is just it's not like that it makes the game that much more important because it doesn't. It's just another game,
Yeah,
but it does give you that extra like, wow, like, I'm playing against a legend right now. Like, it's time to go. So,
yeah. And he's still doing his thing at St. John's and his
yep,
son's at Xavier, right?
yep, yep,
It's basketball, like a legend right there.
yeah, they're doing great.
Um, you guys didn't end up, so Iona was number one in the regular season standings. You guys didn't end up actually running to them because I think their first round after the bye, they ended up getting uh, upset by Ryder. So you guys don't end up playing them. It was a pretty close game that Iona lost. So you end up winning the MAC tournament and clinching a bid to the dance to March Madness. This is what you got. You as player as a team, like this is what you guys have been wanting to do, and we're so close to doing your freshman year. Talk to me about the gratification in that moment, and then how quickly you turn the page from okay, we've done this to game planning for Kentucky, which is Kentucky, right? It's Coach Cal. So
Yep. Yeah, so obviously winning that conference tournament, winning that last game, especially it being such a close game, an emotional game, it was really a dogfight, us
yeah,
against Monmouth. If you watch the game, I think the whole second half is just free throws both ways, just because the physicality was just on another level.
no,
And
both teams would want that so much, right?
oh yeah,
Changes the program if you make that get that berth, yeah.
yeah. So we were both sides were giving it their all, and then we ended up coming out on top. Winning that game is like you kind of you did it. Like you worked so hard from the summer sessions, all the early morning lifts, the
Mhm.
long practices, the physical practices. Like you get to that moment and you guys like you did it, and then you get to celebrate on the court. You won the conference. You know you're going to March Madness. You're cutting down the net. You're doing all these different things with the guys that like you develop such good relationships with,
Mhm.
both the coaching staff and the players. And there's nothing like it. It's just a an amazing um high of emotions and excitedness and happiness and joy, and it's like you're like getting so happy for your teammate that you were with like the whole way.
Uh-huh.
So like doing something like
Especially for
that is
you
like
guys, it was not just a teammate, it was like a group of five guys, right? Five,
yeah,
six
we
guys,
had
yeah.
we had a large group right there, and then obviously just seeing each other succeed and being in that situation and finally making it and doing it. Not everybody gets to say that they won a championship at the Division I level for their conference, so
Yeah.
it was really special, especially for when you know that you put in the work, like you earned it. We really earned that one based on what we did every day at practice and all the hard work that we put in together.
Yeah. So you guys go from a couple games where you have a couple like I think I saw your biggest attendance before obviously the tournament was like six or 7,000 for that season. You played in some like medium-sized arenas, but now we're talking about Gainbridge Fieldhouse in Indianapolis as the 15 seed playing against number two Kentucky, a blue blood. Did you use that as fuel, and how is it like stepping on the court, seeing like 5 to 10x the number of fans you're used to, and just the amount of noise is multiplied. Like it's a different environment for sure. Did you use that as fuel, or do you think for some players it could have gotten taken used to? Like how was that for you?
Yeah, so it's a great question. Obviously, per right when we knew we were playing Kentucky, we were going to win. That was our mindset. There was
Yeah, yeah,
no
yeah.
coach shot instilled that in our mind. Like we're not going to have fun, like just to experience. No,
We
we're going
made
to win.
it. No, no, no. We're
No,
here
we're
to
going.
make. We're here to. Yeah,
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 exactly. So once we got that mindset, that week of practice and preparation was a super difficult week. Like the intensity was turned all the way up, the physicality turned all the way up, getting us ready for that game. And in terms of the fan in the arena was beautiful. It was a great arena. It was huge. It was
yeah.
like really, really nice space. But one thing is like all the fans and like mind you, I'm gonna try to put like a scenery.
Yeah. Okay.
We have like our little fan section, St. Peter's, across from our bench. So in this little arena, you got like that navy blue, couple peacock shirts in there,
Yeah.
and then everywhere else in the arena is just that Kentucky blue. Like
Oh wow.
everywhere else is just that Kentucky blue.
Was
So
there was there like I wouldn't say booze, but you could probably just see the difference in cheers when they're announcing the starting lineups, things like
oh
that.
my, yeah, the place erupted for stuff like that. There was
Yeah.
there was multiple times during the game where um I was on the bench and like they might have hit like a shot or two in a row and they were on defense. That defense chant was probably one of the loudest things I've
Wow.
heard
Yeah.
in sports, like at a sporting event.
Yeah.
And like when you're locked into the game, you don't really hear that stuff, but being able to
Being on
hear
the
it like
bench,
that,
yeah.
I'm like, yo, what is going on? Like they're really popping out right now. But in times like that, for me personally, and I don't know, I think it's just again, like I always have a chip on my shoulder to
Yeah.
overachieve it and to try to be the best that I can. I'm walking around on that court like I'm the best player on the court in my mind.
Yeah.
My mind, my chest is out. I'm taking up space. My body language is huge. I mean they got like I think it was a preseason National Player of the Year on their side with a
Oscar
couple
Shibwe?
Oscar Sheba. Yep,
Yeah,
they
yeah.
got all these
Ty Ty
all-star
Washington.
NBA players, all this,
Yeah.
and I'm out there like from playing at St. Peter's from Nutley, New Jersey, my chest out, like I run the plays. And I did that for every game just because I'm setting my in my mind I belong out here.
Yeah.
And I think doing that it allows you to kind of get in the right mindset to go play under in environments like that when 99% of the arena is rooting for the other team and they're supposed to win by 40 and all these different things and it's like you're out there, you got nothing to lose. Like we're just gonna go play basketball.
Yeah. And I know you mentioned obviously confidence is a huge part of who you are, especially in this Kentucky game. If you go and watch, I was watching the last couple minutes and some of the overtime is you're hitting some deep threes coming off some like pin to screens curling off, hitting some deep threes. Um yeah, I don't know if it was the Kentucky game, you also had this one backdoor cut off a pick into like a floater, like doing all these hitting some crazy physical shots too, which some people didn't know was a part of your game. And like this was like late fourth overtime, um, and you guys won by six, so they didn't even have a chance to even like tie it on the last possession. So you mentioned the confidence. How was it in that moment, like pulling from that deep and just being like, I'm gonna let it fly, you know?
Yeah, yeah, absolutely. And that's a great question. I think throughout the span of the game, when you see the ball go through the net a little bit, well, especially for me, it's like you get more and more confidence because like you're seeing the ball go through the net. And that's
Yeah,
for any basketball player.
yeah,
Um, so I had a couple early ones, and then just the feeling of the game, the emotions of the game. It was like we were there, like this was it. Like it was either win this game or like we're done. Like that's
yeah,
it for us. So once we saw that it was close in the first like 4 minutes, we're like, oh, we could play with these guys. Like they're not like we're right there.
yeah,
So it's like we're playing perfect basketball. Mind you, like we were playing perfect basketball, almost perfect basketball. And it's like it was a tie game or we were like down one. That's just to show how good of a basketball team Kentucky is
yeah,
and the
for sure.
program. But then obviously like late in the game, it just so happened that I had the hot hand. But a lot of people mistake and say like, oh, like I did it. Like Doug was the one that beat Kentucky. It's like I I didn't beat him. Like my team beat him for sure. Like it was
Didn't
definitely
Daryl have what was it that game he had like 27?
yeah, he
Yeah,
had
yeah,
a
yeah.
lot. I don't know how many. Yeah, he had a lot. He was keeping us in the game early. He caught fire. But yeah, just like having my teammates be able to help me. A lot. If you look at my buckets, they're not. I'm not breaking nobody down one on one and going to get my buckets myself.
Uh-huh.
All my buckets come from uh my teammates making good passes on time and on target.
Get
My
you getting to
teammates
your
setting good
spots.
screens.
Yeah,
Yeah, help me out. My coaches calling plays for me. So it's
yeah,
like you show that trust into me to for the play to get run for me to go shoot it. It's like that's like the all-time trust. It's like they're running a play for me to kind of get a shot up. But again, going back to shooting those shots again, I put in the work. I've shot those shots so many times. Like at 6 o'clock in the morning in the gym, I'm shooting the same shots. And it's like
mhm,
you just never know when it's gonna pay off. All that hard
yeah,
work that you go, it might not even pay off, but you just never know. So it's like I was like extremely confident, extremely comfortable shooting those shots. It's not like that just happened overnight where I just let it fly a little. No, like I've worked on
yeah.
it so many different times that I
I
was
think
like
that's
very
the thing
comfortable.
with sports in general. As a fan, you don't think about it. Is like I think the players have shot every like play or shot they're doing in an actual game. That situation has probably been done 10, 20, 30, 40 times more than it happens in the game in
Yeah.
practice. You've seen every situation, every coverage. Like I
Yep.
think that the being prepared is just goes such a long way.
Yeah. The preparation is all it's everything.
Yeah, and so you're hitting some crazy shots, tongue out. Um, at this point, I think so. Earlier in the season, maybe the previous year, you had like kind of the beard, but you shaved and you had the stash. So that was a huge thing. And obviously, when a 15 seed upsets a 2 seed, it's all over. So after the game, after tip off, after you guys had kind of soaked in what you had done, I'm sure there probably was some sort of was there like a second level of emotions when you open your phone? You get like an insane amount of texts. You check Instagram, it's all over. How was that?
Yeah. Yeah, no, that was a pretty interesting one. Um, go after beating Kentucky, we're celebrating and it's like we did the unthinkable.
Yeah.
Again, we're celebrating with our with the teammates that we have, the bonds and stuff. It was just an awesome environment. And then we get back to the locker room and check the phone, and it's like I'm looking at my phone. I have a bunch of texts from family and friends
Yeah.
congratulating me. That was awesome. And I like opened up Instagram. Mind you, I had like less than 1,500 followers going into that
Uh-huh.
game. I checked my phone and it said like 6,000 followers. And then like I refreshed my phone and it said like 100 comments, 100 follows, 100 likes, and it went up to like
Yeah, because
10,000.
it shows the 100. Yeah, yeah, I know
It
what you
shows
mean. Yeah,
100 and
yeah.
I'm just scrolling and I keep refreshing. It's just going up at a
It's
crazy
insane.
fast speed. And I'm like, what is going on right now? Like this is insane. But yeah, no, it was definitely fun. I kind of put my phone down and started celebrating my team because that's like the moment
Yeah.
that
The
really
actual
matters.
moment, exactly.
Yeah,
Now I
so
remember I did the bracket that year with some buddies and I didn't pick you guys. Should have picked you guys, but I remember after that game, and I'm not exactly sure if it was after the Kentucky game or the Murray State game, but I was spamming some of the GIFs, whatever you're gonna call it, the St.
yeah,
Peter's logo. We are just talking so much stuff in the group chat.
yeah,
It was all over. And so the Murray State team, that was a great team. They were what like 30-3. They were on like a
they had a
20
great
game
record.
unbeaten run. That was a
Yeah.
great team. And you guys, it was close, but you guys were up most of that game. And one thing, so this is now 2 wins in 2 days, and now you have a week till you prepare for Purdue. And Purdue is a team where they have Jaden Ivey, top 5 pick in the draft. They have Zach Edey, who is not National Player of the Year yet, but still 15-10, 7'3".
Yep.
And next 2 years ended up being one of the best college basketball players ever. Even other guys recently they've had, I don't know, they didn't play much in the game like Braden Smith, Fletcher Lawyer, Trey Kaufman-Wren. Just a great program, Matt Painter, right? So
Yeah.
what was kind of the mindset going into the Purdue game after you guys had come off 2 big upsets? Now, I mean, internally, you guys always knew you could do this. It's more like now the world knew, and what was the mindset? Did anything change going into the Purdue game?
Yeah, I mean, once we beat Kentucky, I mean, Kentucky's Kentucky. They're one
Yeah,
of the best teams in the
blue blood.
people
Yeah,
had them winning the whole thing. So it's like
yeah,
once you beat a team like that, it's like why not us? Like we proved ourselves right here. So like we could at
Uh,
that point we could beat anybody. And then Murray State was a very good basketball team. They were well coached. They had a great talent on their team. And then we won that game by a decent amount. And then you get that week of like preparation for Purdue, like you said. And
yeah,
then Purdue again, like Jaden Ivey, you got Zach Edey, um, all these different things.
Caleb first, I
And
think. Yeah,
yeah, like they had a really good squad right there, and nothing really changed for us because we've practiced the same way. Our are really where the magic is that
yeah,
not a lot of people know. Our practices are so physical, and the
hmm
intensity is all the way up all the time, and it kind of develops that kind of mental toughness and a physical toughness. So I think the preparation all happens in the practices that we had. We were really getting after each other because we knew that we had to just to get ready for this game. And then going into that Purdue game, it's like, why can't we beat them? Like, why is that? Like, we just beat Kentucky, we beat Murray State. We're on fire right now. Like, let's
yeah,
keep this thing going. And then obviously we know that it's like, no 15 seed has been to the Elite Eight. Nobody, they
yeah,
all get. There's a couple that got to the Sweet 16, but never got past it. And we're like, hey, like, not that that was like extra motivation, but it would be a pretty cool thing to go make history that way. So
yeah. And another close game that Jaden Ivey half court shot at the end down. It looked it looked so online, like or on the line, and then even after it hit the rim, it's I don't know if it like went to the right, but it's still like it could go off like bounce in off the backboard. Like
oh,
I'm a Raptors fan, and that Kawhi shot is always going to be special to me. And I was
yeah, yeah, there
like
you go.
this, this could be. I, when I was watching that back like yesterday night, I was like, I didn't realize it was this close.
Yeah, yeah, no, late in that game, we were up one. I got fouled with like five
Yeah,
seconds left
and
or
you hit
whatever.
the free throws. Yep.
Hit those two free throws, and it's funny because those free throws, I'm like, I think the camera gets it, but you see like me like laughing out on the free throw line, like
Uh-huh.
smiling.
Yeah.
It's like this guy must be out of his mind. Like it's the Sweet 16.
Playing
He's beat
Purdue,
playing Purdue. It's
he's
a one
laughing.
point game, and he's like laughing at the free throw line. And it's like I just again my preparation and my confidence and self. I've shot free throws my whole life. Like I'm
Yeah,
ready. I'm not gonna let millions of people watching affect the way I do my thing. I'm not gonna, oh,
exactly.
there's so much pressure right now. Like that's how people start to mess up and they get tight. They start to second guess themselves. I'm the complete opposite way. I'm locked in. I'm super confident in my ability, whatever. But when he shot that shot, I mean that it looked like it was good. I'm like, don't go in, don't
Yeah.
do it to us. And then once we saw that miss, oh my God, that eruption of emotions. Um, yeah, that was wild.
No, I mean, super special. You guys become the first 15 seed to make the Elite Eight. Go down to UNC, which was a special team. RJ Davis, Caleb Love, Armando
Yep.
Bacot, Brady Manick, like just a great team. The run comes to an end, and so I think in April you end up, but Coach Holloway first off leaves to Seton Hall where he used to be an assistant, and he I think
Yep.
also played there, right?
Yep.
And then you entered the portal, transferred to Bryant. What went to that choice, and then how was it kind of adjusting to Bryant? I mean, still Northeast in Rhode Island, but how was it adjusting to different program, different school, different conference?
Yeah, it was we were all happy for Coach Shaw leaving,
Yeah,
getting that Seton Hall job. He was well deserved, and then a couple of
getting
our
his
players
payday as
that,
well too.
yeah,
Yeah,
exactly. Getting all our players, most of us kind of got together and like kind of just said, oh, we don't know if it's gonna be the same. Let's kind of just go our own way, and then we
yeah,
kind of went our own way. I didn't want to be in the transfer portal that long, so when Bryant reached out, their head coach and like three assistants messaged me as soon as it got announced that I was out in the portal. So that with that kind of interest, it's like you're almost like guaranteed to go there because they like really want you there.
yeah.
And then it was definitely an adjustment, just a way different culture there than it
Uh-huh.
was at St. Peter's, and then obviously with the coaching staff and stuff. Um, so yeah,
Yeah, so you kind of play out your last couple years in college basketball. And so now, right now, the last couple years, you've returned to Bergen as an assistant varsity coach and head coach of the JV team. And you both programs have been playing really good. You guys even have a great prospect I'll talk about a little later. What's been the most rewarding part of coaching, and how was that transition going from being on the court to now kind of helping out the newer generation?
yeah, it's been awesome. Honestly, going from playing to coaching is such a it was a pretty smooth transition for me.
Yeah.
I think it's because I've had so many different experiences as a player where it's
Uh-huh.
like I've been the guy, I've started and played the whole games and games. I've come off the bench, I stayed on the bench. I didn't play. I was six-man starter. I've overachieved with the team that may not have been like that talented. I've
Yeah.
underachieved with the team that was super talented. So I feel like all my past, I've seen it all for the most part.
Yeah.
And I think that helps me. And I'm like very observant when it comes to that, where I'm like, I see, okay, this is what makes a team really good, and this is what makes a team not good, no matter what the talent level is. So I think that I'm doing my best to kind of portray that image of what a good culture or a good team looks like, in terms of the energy, the intensity, the standard, and I'm trying to use my past of like underachieving with teams and how that looked,
To
and I'm just
identify different like weaknesses, different things that
yeah.
went wrong. Exactly.
When things start going that way, I put an end to it right away. Like I'm
Uh-huh.
very, very direct with my communication of like this is what we're doing, this is how it's done. Just because I've been there and I
Yeah.
kind of I'm trying to show them what it takes.
Yeah. Talk to me what a Doug Edert JV practice looks like.
Yeah, so pretty crazy. The intensity is always up.
Yeah.
There's very, very few foul calls. My players get mad all the time. They're getting their arm taken off. They're looking around like, I don't. We're playing through it. Like, well, when that happens in the game, we're not going to react like that because we create that environment.
Yeah.
But it usually starts off with something like this. I don't know if I should be saying this or not, but whatever.
It's all
I kind of line
good.
them up under the basket, make like two lines, and
Uh-huh.
they're in their own teams, and I'll like roll the ball out in
Okay.
the middle of the court, and I'll say go, and then both of them have to like go and try to like dive on it and get the loose
Yeah.
ball, and then once someone get finally gets the ball, we stand them both up, and it turns into one-on-one from there to get an extra point.
Oh, okay.
So it's very competitive, physical
Yeah.
practice
Is
with
that is that something that first thing you Drew you do to start off practice? Is that something uh you just made up or you got it from coach from a different coach? How'd that come?
now there are some drills that are similar, but I made that one up. I
Okay.
made
Yeah,
that one
yeah,
up
yeah.
because it's like it's just the ultimate toughness drill, and that's kind of what my team thrives off of, and that's the way I see basketball is just the intensity, the energy, and the toughness, and the togetherness. All of that needs to be aligned with each other and at a super high level, and then I think that's when you start to do special things and you start to overachieve.
Yeah, one of the guys on the varsity team who's a senior right now, Julius Avant is he's a forward ranked in the top 100 in the class, even a little higher than that. It's like 60s and 70s. I saw committed to
Yeah.
Michigan State, had a lot of offers. How's it like been working with him past couple years and seeing his development? What do you think his future is going to be like?
Yeah, no, it's been great. And again, with him and then along with everybody else on that
Yeah.
varsity team at Bergen, just great people, like
Uh-huh.
great on the court, great off the court, high character, super, super humble. For him, really, he got one emotion. It's just like he's just quiet and just very few emotional swings.
A little
But
stoic,
yeah, just very yeah. So just like he's
Doug.
just
Yeah.
locked in. So and he works super hard.
Uh-huh.
He's always in that gym. So for Michigan State to get someone like that committed to their school, it's good for them. And then obviously he's taking on that leadership role.
Yeah.
Obviously as a senior now, but he has a bright future ahead of him.
Yeah. What do you think for you long term? I mean, now I know you're doing coaching, but where do you kind of see long time your relationship with the game of basketball, both coaching, playing? Where do you think it'll take?
You know, that's a great question. To be honest, I really don't know.
Uh-huh.
Coaching's been fun, and our JV team last year we went undefeated, it went 25-0,
Congrats,
won the
man.
championship.
Yeah.
Right now we're 15-0
Okay,
on
let's
our
run it
way.
back.
We're trying to run it back, but and coaching's been super fun, and I just love the feeling of winning and getting
Yeah.
that competitiveness still involved with the game of basketball. I really don't know what it holds.
Okay.
It would be definitely a dream if I ever got to get the opportunity to go coach at the college level
Yeah.
as a head coach. Uh, and with my level of confidence, I believe that I could turn a program around right now. Just that how delusional that sounds, I could turn a program
Yeah.
around right now just with my level of intensity and knowledge for the game. I'm ready to go. I'm working that coaching thing on, so
Yeah.
super
One
excited for
thing
what's to come.
I missed when talking about the run. You signed a couple cool NIL deals, Buffalo Wild Wings, Barstool Sports. Obviously, nice to get the payday and happy that it was able to happen after it was all like legal and college athletes were able to
Yeah,
get
yeah.
paid. But how was that experience like working with some of those brands and obviously monetizing off your name and image and
Oh,
likeness?
yeah, it was awesome. It was awesome doing that. I had like a lot of support like from
Yeah,
my dad and like a couple of friends and family helping me out so I could just focus on basketball at the time for the most part.
yeah,
Like super locked into the basketball and the game plans and stuff in the team. And then it kind of went through my support system that helped me out a ton. But working with those brands is awesome.
yeah.
Uh,
I saw the
great.
shirt. The shirts were sick.
The shirts, the sweatshirt, it was all they did a great job. I thought it was so funny. It was just awesome that people like saying, "Oh, I bought your shirt." Like I'm looking in the crowd, like people got like sweatshirts with my face on it. I just think it's
Yeah,
so funny. It's awesome to be a part of something like that.
that's sick. And then two quick hitters before we we kind of wrap this up here. Favorite pregame hype song or playlist? You mentioned Confidence. I'm curious what you like to listen to.
I listen to a lot of rap music.
Okay. Anyone
I
specifically?
yeah, there's like the Drake, Lil
Yeah, yeah,
Baby,
yeah.
all those. I'm not gonna name a specific song, but just of that
Okay.
category.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. And then I saw you don't eat sandwiches and you declined $1,000 to eat one once.
Yeah.
What's that
Yeah, no,
about?
I don't eat sandwiches.
Okay.
Never had. I
Not
don't
like
think
a
I ever will.
Subway, a Quiznos, nothing?
Nope. Nothing.
Really?
Won't do it. I don't know. I don't like, I'm a very picky eater.
Okay.
I got issues, but yeah, no, I'm very simple with when it comes to my diet. But yeah, someone did offer me $1,000 and I turned it down. I'm just not, can't do it.
All right. Thank you guys for listening. Thanks for tuning in. 6 Minute Sports. Hope you guys subscribe. And thanks to Doug for showing up today.
Yes, sir. Thank you so much.
All right. Bye.